Hello and welcome to another Smile Game Builder tutorial. Today we'll be looking at the map, from navigating around in the editor to creating a new map to using tiles and effects. First, let's start with the navigation. There are several ways you can move around the map to make it easy editing. In the bottom screen is the perspective bar. The wireframe cube is the perspective. This is the toggle for enabling or disabling the map perspective. The next one, the square box, enables or disables the overhead view, where you can switch between overhead and perspective modes. Next to that, we have the vertical angle. Left click is down, right click is up. Then we have rotate. Left click rotates left, right click rotates right. Logical and easy. And then we have the zoom bar, where you can zoom in and out. Maximum zoom out, maximum zoom in. The next one is the map outline. This is the box surrounding the map, which you can toggle on or off accordingly. And the final one is the map outline. Toggle it on or off, first person or point of view mode. You can also move around the map with the map overlay here. If you left click, you can move around, or you can just click left or right map, left or right button, it doesn't matter. If this gets in your way, click on the top and you'll see that it's reduced to an icon. If you click on the icon again, it'll show up again. You can also use the keyboard mouse to navigate. Right click and drag will move the map around. The middle mouse wheel will zoom in or out. Holding the Alt key and the right mouse button will move it from a 3D perspective, and it will allow you to move it in all directions. To the right are the tiles. These are essentially a single two-dimensional image with a top face and a bottom face. I'll cover this in a new tutorial, but essentially what this does is each one of these 3D faces is exactly the same. So when it rotates like this, it's a 2D image replicated 4 times. Anyway, you have the terrain, the map building blocks, you also have some slopes, and then you also have some custom. This is where the folder that you've created your tile sets go. This is one I created earlier. Next you have the objects, which is things like buildings and additional furnishings, windows and furniture. And events. Many of these are actually presets, so you click and place and then you change some settings. Again, that'll be covered in much more detail in a later tutorial. So let's begin by creating a brand new map. Left hand side under map list, add a new map, and then you have the map settings. A lot of these I'll just skip through and change only the minimal ones. You can give it a map name. we'll just put experiment to map. And by the way, you can actually use templates. They have a load of templates that you can use and manipulate, including a pub. Well, it's meant to be categorized. But apparently it's just the same. That may be a bug. Let's just create a brand new map. In here you can have the light source. If we go for night, environmental effects. How about some rain? And then we'll just stick with that. As it's creating the map, you can switch to it and you'll be presented with an ordinary map. So now let's paint or fill the terrain with some grassland, like that. You can also see the rain effect if you look very closely on the map, and it's raining. So if we create if we create a little cliff face, I'm just drawing something very rough for the purposes of demonstration, nothing fancy, and you'll see it's highlighted where you can raise it up or raise it down. And incidentally, if you don't want to lose your selection already, you hold down the shift key and then continue to build on your map. And then we'll fill with the same thing. So now when you can click select type and it will highlight all of the terrain type. So we raise it up and then we'll do the same thing for adding another elevation. I'm just roughly tracing, not doing a very good job of it. One of the disadvantages is that this can be very time consuming. And then we raise it, say, one more level. Oh, okay. This is something. I accidentally selected one of the higher elevations, and when we raise this bottom level, it also raised this. That actually looks quite cool. I think we'll keep that. So next, let's add a slope. We have one slope like that, and then maybe another slope here. Then you can rotate it around if you wanted to. And let's add an object. We can put the object up there, maybe not, just move it across like that. and then have another one right there. How about putting a shrine just there? Why not? You can also populate it with other things as well. Skeleton. That's a huge skeleton. It doesn't look much. Add some more terrain. Should have some water here. Sea, ice, crystal. Okay, let's have the sea. And one of the cool things about this is it will automatically adapt to the terrain. If you wanted to select something, you have various select options. You can select from a rectangle, which will allow you to draw a rectangle on here and then manipulate it, raise it or lower it. You can also do a trace select, which will basically trace certain outlines and then you can manipulate it. A free select, which will fill in, and then select by type, which would mean that when we click on the grass, all of the grassy area will be selected, or all of the terrain type will be selected, and so on. And the other thing as well, select by elevation. So in the third area, the third level, that will be selected. The whole second level will be selected, and so on. So now let's play test this and see what it actually looks like. We should create the starting position for the character to save actually having to go through each time. Experimental map, and play position there, and that's it. One of the things we should actually do is maybe add a preset. Stationary, get to speak to him. This is all predefined, so you don't have to worry about it so much. You can change the emotions, and then that's it. Click and go. When we play test it, you should be able to see the map. And here it is, wandering around the map. The waterfall effect is rather cool. So if we go to the first person mode, you can see the stars, and that's a nice touch with the moon. So now let's go up and see what our little character says. Hello. And then this is our altar. And the rest is fairly straightforward. You can experiment with the different things and create maps. I've never been that good at creating maps, so this is just a very simplistic map to showcase the mapping area. If we go and create a building, let's say we put a mansion here and we rotate it. So the door is set. We can put a door event, door link to another place. We place it there. And then maybe if we change the map, we go to Sion's house. There's a map I created earlier. We can just place him there. And as you can see, it will go to Sion's house. So when we play test it again, we should be able to enter the house. Let's figure this out a minute. There should be a door. Change map again. Okay, I got it. That's why. The thing is with this, you have to be careful when you're mapping, because sometimes if the door is like this and it's not rotated properly, then it won't work. And it won't have a okay, there it is. It won't have a proper functionality and you'll have a few problems. So let's just start again. We'll create another door. And then change the map. Go back to Sion's house. Put him there. And that's it. Make sure that you rotate the door so that it will actually open now. Left or right? I don't know. Stick with that one then. So play testing once more should actually go into the house. And there's the door. And that's it. That's pretty much an overview of the maps. As I said earlier, I'm not very good at making maps, but I wanted to showcase this particular how all of the maps work. It's pretty straightforward. If you wanted to shift the map, remember that feature in RPG Maker where you can shift it left, right, up or so. This is the place that you would be, the map scroll. And bearing in mind that these are specific directions, move up and so on, by default the map should be facing that way. So this way is north and this way would be south. So when you're moving around the map, it'll tell you if you move it left, whichever way that you are actually facing, move right, down, south, and move up north. And it's always from the perspective of that way. It can be a little bit confusing, and you can always press Ctrl Z or Ctrl Z, potato to get back to the original. So if you make a mistake, Ctrl Z will undo it. And that's it for now. In the next few tutorials I will be focusing more on events, starting with a basic event overview, how to create your own events, and how to do a little bit more advanced stuff. That's it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter or on Facebook. Thanks for watching.